This is a test of the boundary part alert system. Hello, welcome to Lads Football Phone-In with me, Matt Dean.
And me, Sexy Dave Bradley.
We've just come up with another alter ego for you, but we can't reveal.
We cannot reveal.
We nearly missed the start time because we were working on something special.
Secret projects for secret people.
Yeah, something to look forward to in the summer, which is something we'd like to invite you all to join us with. But it's a secret at the minute.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Evening, Robert. Evening, Paul Fairley.
Evening,
and good morning,
Paul.
Latix 37.
Evening, Paul. My friend in Stevenage. Good evening, guys. From Oldham fan. So we presume you can hear us anyway, because all that messing about, I wasn't sure if I'd forgot to press a button or do something. But
we'll get a phone call off Andy in a minute. Well, is it his Swiss delegation? Yeah. So
it's transfer deadline day in the Football League.
Yeah. So we're doing a deadline special.
Yeah, I forgot about that when I put the tweet out before.
Yeah. Well,
what did I put in that we've got to talk about the disappointing result and performance at the weekend?
Mm-hmm.
How the new signings are bedding in. Now we've got a new signing to talk about as well.
Yeah.
So without further ado, shall we bring a guest in?
Yeah, let's bring in Brad.
Yeah. Hi, Brad.
Hey, lads, you all right? I won't call you by your nicknames.
Did you hear us when we were doing all that?
Yeah.
I thought you might have done, yeah. What do you think? I forgot all about that. It's a good idea, though, isn't it?
It looks...
I didn't hear it all. Cause what I heard is what you were calling yourself for that.
No, leave it. You will be sued. You will be sued.
Hear me.
I know. Yeah, this is honestly what we get up to in here. You could have heard a lot worse, to be honest with you.
Jesus Christ! If you'd only been on 10 minutes earlier.
We're just having a laugh, weren't we?
I just kept looking. He was on mute, and then Dave kept pissing himself, and then it came off. What's going on here?
Come on, anyway.
I told myself that, and then I thought, right, okay, I'll leave you to it.
Yeah. So, So what's apart from that? Obviously, what else have you phoned up to talk about, Brad? What's your hot topic?
Well, Saturday was came to expect it, didn't we? I think I tweeted it the day before. It's got a 1-0 walking written all over it. I think the reaction to it, I think it's a bit over the top. A lot of people really angry and questioning Melanie and stuff like that. I'm thinking a bit bizarre. Just chill. Because I think what we say, that's fourth defeat. We're not losing. We were losing 1 in every 4 and stuff, and we're still in the playoffs. So I think fans just need to calm down a bit, don't we?
I think for my overriding emotion was frustration. I was just frustrated that it happened again against. It's got to be mentality, Brad, hasn't it? What do you think it is? How can it be explained to go from Tuesday night beating third in the table to losing against fourth from bottom on Saturday?
I had no idea. It's just a phrase, isn't it? What we all say, typical Latics. It's just over the years. It just happens and happens. And I think the biggest concern which I'm seeing at the moment, you've been there all the games, haven't you? From Hartlepool on Boxing Day to walking, we're not really creating many chances apart from set pieces.
Yeah, it was the same against Barnet, wasn't it? Without those 2 penalties, we'd have been struggling.
Scoring open play, did we? We didn't have many shots.
Yeah, and Dorking, I think, was a corner, weren't it? What Fondop scored off, and who else did we play? Hartlepool New Year's Day. That was another set piece, weren't it? As well, which Fondop again.
Yeah, so, we are struggling.
Barnet as well. Yeah, we just don't seem to be creating enough chance. I think that's where it's going wrong. We just wanted to hoof it, and we get into a hoof game and against a big defence, we struggle. And Fondop's not one of them players which can play at home. I don't think he's obviously better away from home because that's where he gets most of his goals. But
I mean that kind of thing though. Where's the logic in that? Do you know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense, does it? When you look at the form and you there might be some kind of logic to the data, if you like, but the actual logic of why, I mean, it's like the whole team, like, why can't they perform at home? It's no different, really.
No,
in fact, it should work in your favour performing at home, but it doesn't.
It's just like a hoodoo, isn't it, at Boundary Park? It's just not, it's just cursed, isn't it? I feel sometimes it is, isn't it?
You can't put your finger on it, can you? What is the actual thing with it? Because we performed well on Tuesday. I thought we deserved the win. I know it was 2 penalties. I think we passed it really well against Barnet. We passed it really well. I thought, here we're looking all right here. But then Saturday, we were just totally the opposite, where we just going long and stuff. I think, obviously, I've not been Hogan's biggest fan. I think we missed him.
Oh, massively.
Yeah, it showed where there was like no leadership, no talking. They were panicking. Kitchen had his worst game for us since he joined, and I think it just a number of things happened where collectively everyone were bad, weren't they?
What got me was that they got to the 18-yard box, both Dachev and Kitchen, and they just stopped and they didn't want to take anyone on. They never went any further forward. It was as if they just didn't want to progress, or they were going to get caught out on the break. Because, to be fair, I thought Woking did play really well in a good passing game. The midfield was unbelievable. But I think we spoke on Twitter, didn't we, saying it was like watching two different teams from Tuesday to Saturday. It was Oldham was just, they were so poor. They were chasing shadows, weren't they?
Exactly. Like I said, someone said like they didn't play well, Woking, but I thought they were well drilled. They pressed us. They got in our faces, pressed us a lot, and passed it around a lot more than what I expected to. They didn't really create much, but they had the majority of the ball, I thought, and I thought they well deserved the win.
Yeah,
we just didn't do anything.
I thought they put some good moves together. It wasn't like they were brilliant for 90 minutes and playing excellent, but they were more effective at getting the ball through the phases of play up to the top end of the pitch on the ground than we were. And they played some nice balls and some decent football. And every time we got it, Brad, we give it back to them, didn't we? We just kept giving it back to them like we did, like we were doing under Unsworth week in, week out, hoofing the ball, giving it back to them, and then having to defend.
Yeah, that and do you know what annoyed me? I think I can't pronounce his name. Is it Sakdev?
Sakdev, I think. Yeah.
All right, sorry.
I don't know how you pronounce it.
Back.
But the right back. How many times did he put a ball in? And he put in where 3 players missed it all at once.
Yeah.
And he was on a plate and stuff like that. And then he did it 2 or 3 times. Just think, somebody just have a shot. And it winds me up where, like, you know, where it looks like it opens up for the players, and we just stop and we go sideways. Just fucking hit it, because anything could happen.
I like this joke here, but it's also quite pertinent. What happened to Dickinson when he joined? I thought it was the real deal. It's a good one.
But he's been warming up, hasn't he? I was there pretty early on Tuesday and Saturday. He's been doing the warm up with, like, the fringe players. With, I think it was Sutton, Green, and him who were doing like a warm up. So it must be fit. And obviously we've got another striker come in, and this is the 9th striker of the season.
But what do you think of Garner coming in?
Well, where's he going to play? Well, I thought Dallas and Norwood would be up front, and is Garner going to play a bit behind? Apparently, he's like he wins the ball a lot. He does a bit of the dark arts, which I think you guessed on Sunday was saying that we need somebody to get in. Apparently, someone said that Preston fans said that he's got a full handbag full and he'll win fouls and he's a bit dirty. But, well,
look, you've got someone like Conlon who's got a wicked left foot from set pieces. Now, you know, we want set pieces around the box. We want free kicks, you know, from 25 yards, and we want corners and dead balls that we can whip in and stuff like that. So I think we need somebody like that. The thing is the question is, could we make signings like this and people say, oh, bloody hell, it's 35, 36, whatever.
But it's another 18-month contract.
I know, but it's either are we trusting Mickey Mellon to bring in what he needs, or are we going to question every signing? And ultimately, I think you have to put a bit of faith in the manager. He knows he's been there and done it, and he's You know, he obviously. I think
he's been playing, hasn't he, as well for Carlisle? He's played 23 games this
season. Yeah.
Like that. So he has been playing, and they are in League One. So it's just a bit of a bizarre one, weren't it? Unless we are getting players rid. Obviously, rumours of Willoughby, and Reed go in, which you can understand if we're getting rid of 2 or 3 strikers, then fair enough.
Yeah. This is a point. This is a point from Vinny here. We always perform well against teams above us, but poor against teams below us. We need to go into every game as underdogs. Well, that's the thing. That's what we were used to when we were in the second division and we were playing bigger clubs and in the cups and all that. But now we're not underdogs, and that's the problem. This is something that I've been talking about on the pod. We've not had players in the squad who can handle being the big dogs in the division, and we are financially, in terms of the fan base, the stadium, we're not favourites this season to go up, obviously, but next season, assuming Chesterfield go up and assuming that we don't make it in the playoffs, we'll be the favourites to go up next season. We'll be the favourites to win the league because everyone will be pointed at, look at the money they spent, look at the squad they've got, look at the fan base they've got, look at the stadium they've got, everything is in place, look at the manager they've got, look at everything. So we need players that can go out there, and I think maybe that is why you're looking at bringing in players like Garner and bringing in players like Conlon.
Is it fair to say that some of the current crop have like sort of imposter syndrome? We're in the playoffs. I don't
think they've got what it takes. I think some of these players haven't.
They don't deserve to be. They don't think we deserve to be where we are. They've never been in this position like where they've been before. You know, that's why they've got the likes of Norwood, Garner, who've been there and done it. Conlon. You know, he's Hogan. You know,
you've been a big critic of his.
I have. But in the last 10 games, I think he's done really well.
He's put his hand up and been counted. I was in the camp of getting rid of him. Like I say, he's not going good, but he carries the ball out of defence, don't he? And he's a bit more.
Well, against Barnet, he could have scored if you'd got it on target. He would have been one of the goals of the season when he came from his own half and ran the full length of the pitch. You know,
reminded me of Voto when he did it that time. Yeah.
But it's the confidence, and if you see your captain do that, it sort of lifted because it was a bit of a tricky spell against Barnet when he did that. They were putting us under a lot of pressure, but you just showed that he came out and just ran the full length of the pitch. He had a shot just outside the 80-yard, but so we had like a good passage of play after that. So. Yeah, it's really it's just baffling.
You know what, Dave? I was talking on the podcast. I don't know if you listened to the podcast this week.
I have, yes.
Do you remember? You know, like because you sent me a voice note saying I've not interviewed Mickey Mellon this week because and he had a rant. If he had done, it would have been a good. I mean, it's easy to say it in hindsight. It's not as easy as straight after the game, but to try and identify what the tactics were, because on the podcast on Monday, I was very critical of the players. I said the players didn't turn up, and it was on them. It'd be good to know how the manager asked them to play on Saturday, because it did appear that the long ball tactic was the tactic, or did they just fall apart and were they just not able to do what they were supposed to be doing?
Well, they're not fit enough. Like, he did mention, didn't he, in his interview, turned around, Mellon. He said that there will be changes being made. So obviously Conlon were blowing.
He was.
He's not played a full night. And then Dallas came on. He was rusty. There's a few there. Who have not played for some time. So that may be a reason why, but it should affect all.
It's not what you need at this time of the season, Brad. Though, is it? You've got you need everybody fit. You need
at least Garner will be fit because he's played 23 games, won't he? At least he's had a lot of minutes and a lot of time. You know what I mean? And it might give Norwood that bit of a rest and a bit of a reprieve because he might need to recharge a bit and come off at 60.
Well, he's on 9 yellow cards, isn't he, as well? So more than likely, because you know what Norwood's like, how he plays on the edge, don't he? And he shows it to the rest and stuff like that. So he might get banned. And I think I like Fondop, I do, but I don't think he has a football. He's an intelligent guy. Obviously, he's got a degree and stuff, but he hasn't got a football brain. At Dorking, Mellon was like coaching him. Mellon, McGee, and Norwood were telling him where to stand, when to press, when to do. And I think it must be hard for someone like Norwood to do that and concentrate on your own game, because if you concentrate on somebody else's, someone like Garner comes in. He's obviously football intelligence will be very high. You know what to do.
It's like me every week on the phone with Matt. I know, having to try to tell him what to do. It's horrendous. You're trying to do your own sexy thing. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
But
but
I do get what you mean.
You do cope quite well.
I
thought on Saturday, that there wasn't any kind of a partnership up top between them. It was they weren't playing close together. They were such a gap between them, and there was no real link up here, no threat.
The walking defenders were on Lilos, weren't they? They were just like bring it on.
That ball centre half, he had it
sewn up. everything he won.
Yeah.
So the thing is, we had a blip on Saturday. The results have been really good so far, even if the performances haven't, because I thought Saturday was very similar to the Dorking game, but we got away with the Dorking game. We didn't get away with it on Saturday. We've got Ebbsfleet on Saturday. You'll be making the long trip down, Brad.
Yeah, we've got a coach. We've still got room. We're just even at the moment on the coach, I think, depending on everyone shows up. So we need a few more if anyone fancies it.
If you want to say your Twitter, Brad, to get in touch with you, do you want to promote that now?
Just get in touch with me or Bin Man. Try to get people down there. I know it's a long day. It's probably 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. We'll probably get back.
Yeah,
we'll get down there. But I think the game-wise, we own one, don't we?
Yeah,
we own one. That 4-1 was an absolute.
And get Paulie on back.
It should be fresh in the minds of the players. They should really want to get one back on them, and so we've got to get that run. Got another run going. Look, if we can win, like you said before, if we can win 4 games and then lose one, and we win another 4 now, we still won't be far off at the end of the season.
Exactly, that's what I mean. I think it was York and Bromley. They had like a 10-game unbeaten streak, but they've drawn 6.
Yeah,
and only won 2. I'd rather be winning 4, losing 1. If you get what I mean. It's always nice to lose, but it wins me more than draws.
Yeah. Got some big games coming up. Looking forward to York.
The winnable games, aren't they?
On Tuesday
night. Winnable, aren't they? I think any game's winnable in this league, though. I think anyone can beat anyone on the day.
I said it on Twitter. I fancy against any of the top 7 or any of the top half, then somebody at the bottom. Yeah. We played Chesterfield on Saturday. I said, we'll beat them. But like someone like a Walker or something like that, that's what I think. We could struggle here.
Yeah, and that's got to be.
But the fans, us as fans, we need to do more, because obviously the atmosphere was a bit flat, weren't it, on Saturday? I know we've got to thrive with something on the pitch, but with these games coming up, I think we need to obviously get behind them a bit more, because the atmosphere this season's not been that great, has it?
Yeah,
there's a lot of snot in
this.
Sorry,
just blowing our nose. Sorry, it's trying to mute.
But yeah, I know what you mean. I think what it is that there's a hangover from the last however many years. We've got more fans in the stadium than we've had for a long time, and in many ways the atmosphere is better than it has been for a long time. But we need fans to be relaxed in Boundary Park in order to have the atmosphere. And I think once there's the tension, if you go a goal behind or it's not convincing, the fans aren't relaxed. And at Latics, we've seen it so many times where you've got a good lead. Your 2-0's not comfortable at Latics. You're not really. So it's still having that knock-on effect, and I think really that's only going to change when the team are performing to such a level that we can start to relax. But I mean, there is that whole thing, isn't there? That old business saying of when you're doing a team, storming, norming, and performing. Like teams go through phases of development basically until you get to the point where you can perform regularly. And you think about the transitioning players that we've had last season and now this season again, we're still going through these periods where we've not got and haven't had settled team of individuals who you would say, that's our first 11, and that first 11 is good enough. And there's another 4, 5, 6 players on the fringe. And that's the team that's going to take us forward and it's going to take us up. And they're still in the process of building that team. So I think we are going to, until we get settled, and I think it's probably not going to be until next season until we really do have a more of a settled team of players who know each other well. And I think that we'll see a big progression next season. Whether that's in League 2 or this division remains to be seen. But
I'm still confident. I think I came on and I think it'll be called a Solihull game. Actually, I said that. I think we'll finish 6th, and I do think we're going to finish in playoffs, but anything can happen. And if we lose in playoffs, we lose in playoffs. It's just one game, and it's just take that experience into next season. But we've got to be. I feel like it's a bit of a priority that we are in the playoffs this season.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Get a taste for it and see what happens.
Get there and see what happens.
I think we'll make it as well. I think we will make the playoffs, and then we'll see what happens. But listen, Brad,
we'll make the playoffs if we're going to go up.
Well, hopefully, have a safe trip down, mate. Enjoy the day out.
Good trip.
I believe you got some beers for the coach off the OAFP veterans today.
In contact with Bin Man. They sent him across 24 cans of Stella for the coach and a big box of crisp, and I think some. Like Dr. Peppers and Fantas for people who
Did
don't
you send
drink.
us anything?
No.
Oh, right. Okay.
Come and join us and drink some Fanta if you want. But
you know what? I'd love to. I've got a gig on Saturday, and I'm going to try and get to as many games as I can. I've got Is it Maidenhead or Maidstone we're playing? Maidenhead.
Everyone gets confused with that.
I know. Yeah.
I want Maidstone. I went, no, we're not playing them.
Yeah. So I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down to that. I'm going to try and get to as many games now as I can between now and the end of the season.
You get York. Get the £2 York tickets on trade.
I haven't got the tickets for the train yet, but I've got my ticket for the match though, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Halifax away as well, because I love away matches in the evening under the light. Yeah. It's great going away from home, but they're often quite far away and stuff, aren't they? But
the Kidderminster one was good, weren't it?
It was really good. That decent weather. It was all right. It was just a ball ache to get back from, but yeah, it was okay.
Yeah. Obviously, I think the last away game I went to under the lights was Filed, and that was a horrible experience.
Filed
so
under the lights.
Hopefully, it won't be like that. But yeah, listen, nice one. Thanks for getting in touch, Brad.
See you later, lads.
All right,
you, mate.
all the best, pal. Ta-ra. Right,
I've got Aaron or Aaron.
Yeah, well, you can ask him. Hello.
Good evening, boys.
How are you doing?
Is it Aaron or Aaron?
Aaron.
Okay. Right. Just wanted to check.
Yeah, just wanted to talk about Saturday, really. It was, like Brad said, you could see it coming a mile off, couldn't you? It's just typical Oldham. I watched Barnet game and I watched Saturday. Mickey Mellon must be tearing his hair out, like when you get two contrasting performances like that. Like, unbelievable on Tuesday, and then Saturday just dog shit, utterly dog shit.
Well, you can't describe it anything other than that. I left you a voice note and I told you not to. I was wanting you to play it on the pod, and I said don't play it because I'd lost my rag. It was that bad. I was so frustrated, and I was just so angry about the level of just complacency. I think that's all you can put it down to. It was complacency, and there was no desire, no passion. There was nothing from anybody apart from Mickey Mellon on the side. Like, no, would show glimpses, but then he started sulking, which, you know, he does that a little too often for my liking. But there was Walker, looked the only one who came on with a bit of something, but, you know, everyone else, they just sort of went into the shell, and it was just...
There was a distinct lack of character, visible character. Like, they just didn't seem to have the fight. It didn't seem to want to take it to Woking, and that always disappoints you. You know, I can take losing as long as we've had a good go, and maybe we've had chances and we missed, and they converted theirs, we did. Oh well, it's one of those things. But we looked like there was so much more to give on Saturday, and that really annoyed me.
I think as well, but if you would reverse them two results, say we got beat off Barnet and then played well against Woking, it wouldn't feel as bad because of where Barnet are in the league, and they've lost many. But when you beat Barnet like convincingly, like we did, and then you look at the next fixture and you're like, Woking, they've not won in it. You think it's a chance to like really put some pressure on those top 3-4 places, and they just put out a performance like that. It's infuriating. The only saving grace I think from it is because we've got some new players and they've not played that well together. I think in another 5 or 6 games time, I don't think we'd see that kind of performance again. That's the kind of only saving grace, I think.
Yeah, they need time to gel, but I think there's some fans who need to take a long, hard look at themselves as well. You know, we talk about collective responsibility. Oliver Hammond, 21-year-old player, he's had 35 minutes on the pitch, you know, in both games, and he misplaces a corner, and they're on his back, and he's shit, and he's the worst player Oldham have ever seen.
Yeah.
You fans, if you're watching, you need to get an absolute grip of yourselves and have a word with yourself, because you're absolutely embarrassing to the club, yourselves, and everyone associated with this football club. Getting on a player's back and giving him crap on Twitter is out of order. You know what I mean? All right, he might have not. Everyone has a bad day, everyone has a bad game, but flipping it, he's a young lad. You know what I mean? And we really need
He was shy, Dave.
Well, yeah, that's a great constructive argument, Reece. Why don't you just come on and
maybe he was, but at the end of the day, what the point that Dave's making is, if a young player comes in who's just signed,
is that the sort of club we want to be with and associated as? Well, I don't.
Does it?
No, it doesn't. And I think he might be shit, and he might have had a bad day, But you've got to get off his back, and we've got to support these players. We're in the playoffs, for goodness sake. If we're second from bottom and we're crap, not fair enough. But you'd have somewhat more to moan about. But we're in the playoffs, for God's sake. When it doesn't go our way, we start throwing the toys out of our pram because a player misplaces a corner. It's an absolute joke.
Do you think, Dave, that kind of like that reflects in our home form?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you feel like that because, I mean, I don't get to as many games I'd like to anymore, but I see it like when we play away from home, the support is constant support. And then like when I watch us when we're at home, it seems as though if we're not winning after 20 minutes, that you can feel, even watching the stream, that the atmosphere changes in the ground.
I'm just going to say Hartlepool away. Everyone got on the backs when we conceded in the first 5 minutes, but then everyone rallied round and supported him. And look at the result that we got, because all the fans got behind him. All right, we give him a bit of crap about what happened with Alex Reid and Harrison McGahey, but then we stood behind the team and we absolutely dominated the game. We absolutely battered Hartlepool off the park, although they had a good first 5 minutes, because we as fans supported the team as a collective together and got behind him.
There is 100% a different mentality in the support at Boundary Park and away from Boundary Park. And I think that you just get a different type of supporter away from home than you do at home. I think that's probably not just a Latics thing. I think that probably applies across football. But I think that at Boundary Park, a lot of fans around the stadium, because that's the thing, you're surrounded by home fans, so even if you've just got a pocket in one stand and a pocket in a funeral, they get it from all angles. And I think it's a common occurrence at Boundary Park that a player doesn't get much of a chance at Boundary Park to impress before people get on their backs. It's not something that's new. And the Atleticos have made a massive difference in terms of the atmosphere. I think sometimes it's the rest of the stadium need to try and sort of like reflects what's going on with the Atleticos and boost the atmosphere around the ground, and just be a bit more patient with some of the, especially young players. You've got to get behind them. I totally agree with Dave. You've got to get behind them. You've got to give them more support. That's the idea of being a supporter.
It's funny, isn't it? Because I keep seeing like on Twitter that people when talking about like the playoffs, and I've heard it I think on the podcast as well, like, we want to finish like third or fourth to get that home tie. I actually want us to get the away tie with how the away form's been. I prefer us to have them away ties. Totally agree.
I'd rather have a packed out away end, with 1,000 fans and 6,000 fans and 500 singing at home, and I totally agree with you on that. I would love an away tie every week and twice on Sunday.
I think if at the end of the day the away form's better than the home form, still by the end of the season, then yeah, why not? Ultimately, we want Boundary Park to be. Everybody says it. Every single manager that's ever come to Latics and to every other club in the country has said we need to make the home ground a fortress, and it's a case of what does that mean, and it means being, like I said this on the pod, like we're a very, very welcoming club. We make, and I love that about the club. I love that the fans, you can mingle with our fans. They're not going to you're not going to be idiots towards other away fans. The club are going to be very, very welcoming and very decent towards opposition officials and stuff like that. But when the players come out on the pitch, our players need to be horrible to their players, and our fans need to be horrible to their players and support our players. And then at the end of it, we can all be nice again because it's only a game and all that. But during that game, that's what making Boundary Park a fortress means. It means getting onto the referee's back and making it for him when he makes bad decisions. It means getting onto their players to make it uncomfortable for them, getting onto their fans and mocking them, doing all the things that make football great. Mm-hmm. Because it's during those 90 minutes and getting behind our lads. And yeah, it needs to be. It does help though when the players, to be fair, go out and perform. Yeah, so there is a dual responsibility.
But they have turned it round from where Mickey Mellon, where we were when Mickey Mellon came in. We're now fourth or fifth in the playoffs. They've turned it around. They put the performances, they put the shifts in away, and some of them have been like far away. They've come back from behind. Solihull come back behind from Hartlepool. We've had a great performance against Barnet. And then we have a bit of a blip at home, and then people are on the backs. But Gary, I just put a comment up by Gary there saying that he's everywhere in the ground. there's people just mourning all the time. Look at where we were before the Rothwells came in. We nearly went out of existence. We've got a lot more to be happy about than be unhappy about. We've got good. We're signing a board that's backing players. We're getting We've got the likes of Norwood, Garner, Hobson. Do you know what I mean? We're getting all these players that are coming in who want to come and play for Oldham. But let's not make the fans the issue where we want to try and sign other players. Like, players talk, don't want to come here. They get on your back every 5 minutes, you know what I mean? Or players will just leave because when they might not want to sign a new contract because the fans are getting on the back all the time. Do you know what I mean? So there's that danger that we could be our own undoing.
I mean, fans are always going to have favourites, aren't they?
But
like,
it's
you've got to give support to all the players as well, I think, definitely.
Yeah, we need to make it intimidating for their players and not our own players to play on our pitch. Right? Because sometimes I feel like we are a bit quick to do that. There has to be a boo boy of some sorts, and we need to kind of eradicate that, I think.
Yeah, well, the boo boy can be the 11 players on the other team. Give them, take out all your anger and frustration on the other team, during the game.
Danny makes a good point. Did you not interview Mickey Mellon because you was too angry? Yeah, I was angry at the result, angry at the performance. But it doesn't mean I was screaming and booing. You know what I mean? And getting on a young player's back because he's had 35 minutes of football because he's misplaced the corner. That's the point I'm trying to make. Jumping on players' backs because they're not doing well. And you know as well as I do, Danny, you've been on Shelton's back from day one. You know what I mean? And fair enough, you had the best of performances. He's not the best player. But, you have been on his back from day one and not given him a chance. You're not giving any positive.
It's about that collective responsibility.
Again, it's everything, isn't it?
It's just like try and think about like what you say, what you do in terms of your actions. Like, it's very easy to. I mean, I've been giving Joff Lundstrom a bit of stick for the last couple of weeks,
but he's not been playing well.
But he's not been playing well, and I've also said that. I still believe there's a player in him. We're just not seeing the best of him. I want him to perform. I want him to do well, and I'm not giving him grief on the pitch. But it's when you do stuff like we're doing every week like this, you do sort of have to sort of try and be honest about what you're seeing. I don't think Oliver Hammond, in his half an hour on the pitch, has had enough of an opportunity to prove what kind of a footballer he is.
Too long to prove himself.
So it's a bit of give and take, and they're all talking points, but ultimately. Every single player that crosses that line for Latics, once they get on that pitch, they're representing us, representing our team, and we all want them to do well. So shouting them, calling them names, giving them grief from the sidelines is not going to, help them.
Well, Fondop's Mrs. came and said, "What? Why? But I know it's her husband or husband to be going to be playing for him, but why boo your own players?" Why? I don't get it.
Well, we've had Harry get away and Salford and all those kind of experiences where, the club was the lowest of the low, and everyone was so frustrated with everything, and we didn't even have they
need to put it to bed though.
But that's over and done with. So now it's about support and encouragement and getting us over, trying to get us over the line. And like you said, we're in the playoffs now. Let's stay in the playoffs.
You can be dissatisfied by someone's actions on the pitch, but it's how you vocalise and manifest them as a person or as a fan. Is how you do it. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying when someone hits the post from 2 yards out, I'm going to be really happy about it. I'm going to be pissed off about it. If we get beat, I'm going to be pissed off about it. But don't be jumping on Twitter, jumping on someone's back under a fake false name, saying that a player's shit because he's misplaced a corner. He's a young lad, for goodness sake. Norwood, missed a sitter in the first half. Raglan missed a sitter in the first half. But they didn't jump on his back. Do you know why? Because Hammond's an easy target, and some of these people who jump on the backs are just bullies, and it just winds me up. Gets on my tits. Sorry,
yeah, I agree.
Sorry, Aaron.
It's all right. It's all right, mate.
Is this your fault? Is this your fault, Aaron? Did you spark him off?
Aaron sent the tweet. I'm joking.
Did he just go?
No, but it just does he not frustrate? I'm interested to hear from other fans. You know what I mean? It's all well and good me saying it, but other fans, if someone wants to argue about Hammond's performance and why he should be vindicated for that 35 minutes, by all means, come on. It's your phoning. You know what I mean?
There isn't any justification for that. Is he calling people whatever on Twitter and stuff like that? And I think maybe some of that's probably from people who are not quite matured yet, or maybe I don't want to say definitely, but you know what I mean.
The thick, I'll say it. The thick.
Well, you get it from all kinds of people. You get it from older people. You get it from middle-aged people, from young people. It's and what it is people taking out their frustrations on somebody else, and that's the thing. If people who've got their own anger and their own frustrations within themselves, taking it out on somebody else, and without appreciating the effect that might have on somebody else. So, it's happened for time immemorial, but it doesn't. What the point is, it doesn't help the players. And Boundary Park, there is more negativity amongst the home fans at Boundary Park than there is amongst the away following Latics on the road, and that is an issue. And as fans, I think we need to be able to honestly talk about it, don't we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. As I say, everyone's entitled to their opinion. It's just how you vocalise it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it has an adverse effect on the team.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say.
Just before that, I shoot off as well. I think what's really important now is that we actually, just to change the subject a little bit, Dave, just to help you out, Ray. I think we need to trim the squad a little bit now. We're overloaded with strikers, aren't we? We've got some new lads in, and hopefully we'll see a few fringe players out the door in a couple of days.
Who would you like to see go? Who would you like to see go?
Well, the last time I was on here with you, I had a £20 bet with you that I said that Nuttall would score more goals than Fondop before the end of the season. And it looks like I've lost 20 quid. But we did say we did donate it, to be fair.
I don't remember that. I'm only kidding.
I think there's obvious candidates that are going to leave, aren't there? I think Shelton's probably had his day with us. Nuttall's definitely not in his plans. He's publicly said that. I think Reed's probably going to go. Willoughby seems to have been, I don't want to say a mistake because he's not had a real good run in the team, but he doesn't seem to be up to scratch. And maybe a couple of others, but off the top of my head, that's...
Yeah, I think they're the four sort of like, if you would, for intended first teamers who are...
I think if it was up to me as well, as good as he can be on the day, I'd probably try and shift Dan Gardner on as well.
Yeah, I think
he's got to go, hasn't he?
It probably will be.
Yeah,
just, you don't get the consistency out of that you need, because it's a shame, because we all know what kind of a footballer he is. But look, we've just going to have to be patient. Again, it's the way it goes. Football isn't something that happens in one season. It happens over a season and many seasons beyond. And I'm sure that there's people who are in the club that will acknowledge that mistakes were made in signing certain players and all that, but it is what it is, and you can't say, all right, we're concerned about the size of the squad, but it would be more concerning from a winning football games point of view if we were just saying, well, this is the squad you've got, you're going to have to deal with it, and we're going to have to get into the playoffs, because that wouldn't happen. if they're investing, they're bringing more players in, we have to then assume that they have a financial plan to get rid of certain players and move them on one way or another. Now, next season, we might see some of the spending slow down as well, because they might be spending this season. Plus, then when you've got to spend X amount of money to get rid of players, we might not be able to afford to bring in as many players next season. We might just have to pick a few, in one or two choice positions. So, but it's up to Mickey Mellon and the club to sort out. What I do know is that the priority is promotion, be it this season or next season. It's got to happen.
It has to.
It doesn't happen.
I think if we don't go up this year, I think that we'll storm it next year. I think we'll be the Chesterfield to that next year.
We should. Well, that's the thing. We should be, but the expectation will be that we are. Whether we will or not, I don't know. Again, what will the atmosphere at Boundary Park be like next season when there's that level of expectation? Will fans just be able to just say, right, we're just going to support the team, we're going to back it, we're going to make it a brilliant atmosphere from 15, 20 minutes before kick-off and right until the end and all that? If we can do that and we can really motivate the players, really intimidate the opposition, then fantastic. But we have to get over that. Like somebody made it in the comments, the point in the comments before, but we've been saying it all season. We've got to make... Instead of them coming here and thinking, this is brilliant, we can play in front of this big crowd and what a day out it is, and this is one of the biggest games of our season, and enjoying it, it's got to be opposite. They've got to hate it coming to Boundary Park.
I didn't like going to Wrexham, did you?
No, Wrexham had it absolutely perfect. Their fans nailed it. They're horrible, and
Welsh
they're
as well.
loud, and intimidating, back the team. I mean, you can't argue with what the atmosphere was like at Wrexham when they absolutely battered us twice last season.
Well, Aaron, if you do want to donate your £20, a friend of Mick Harwood is trying to raise money to enable Oldham Athletic Supporters Foundation to become friends of the Oldham Athletic Community Trust. He's only looking for £500. He's raised 330 of it. So if you want to have a look out for just giving Mick Harwood.
Can we share that link?
I can't share it. I've just tried and
right.
It's a bit of a ball ache, but you might be able to. But yeah.
You know what's happening to me?
Where can I find it?
Dave's going to WhatsApp it to me now, and I'll put it into the comments.
Yeah. Can I?
I'm sure you can, Dave. Yeah.
Can I?
Figure it out. Yeah. Right. So yeah, just keep your eye on the comments for that link, Aaron and Aaron.
Oh yeah, I'll WhatsApp it right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do it now.
Well, you don't have to do it right now because there is still a chance that Joe Nuttall may score more than Fonda public.
Oh, 1 minute. Yeah, them pigs flying past my window.
Yeah, all right. I've just sent it to you now, Matt.
Yeah,
but
okay, I got it,
mate, it's a brilliant call, mate. Thanks very much.
Oh, you're welcome, boys.
Mate. Thanks very much,
and just keep putting bets on with me, mate, because I like a good bet. Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers,
right,
mate.
See you in a bit, boys.
Take care.
Bye. Yeah. So is there the link? So
do it. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's taking.
It's probably doing it on Facebook as well. Right, let's bring in the man, the myth, the legend. That is Ibby.
Ibby.
Hello, sexy Dave. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Good, mate. Are you?
Very well, thank you.
I'm all right, Dave. I saw you having a good little run. I fully agree with you with fans getting on the players, but because when this regularly happens, we end up losing games.
Yeah.
And it needs to stop.
I don't like I don't want to get going again, but we're the victim of our own downfall due to our adverse reactions against players who were trying the best and doing it for our club. You know, all right, the National League players, you know what I mean? They're not Premier League players, and they need to be supported by our team. We're good through bad, indifferent, you know what I mean? We need to support our players, and we don't get it right all the time. And sometimes it's not our day. I think we didn't play very well against Woking. We were horrendous against Hendon. But again, we can't just have this mentality of if it's not going our way, let's have a go and jump on all the backs. And
I fully agree with that.
It's self-destructive. And if an away team gets on the back of that, or if there was a crowd like, if we did that against Rochdale and go 1-0 down against Rochdale in the first 10 minutes, we get absolutely pulverised because they're going to have 1,000-strong crowd there, and they're going to get on our backs, and we're going to do the job for them. Do you know what I mean? So, like the likes of Chesterfield, fortunately, we don't have that many big away followings now till the end of the season. But we really need to, nip it in the bud, for goodness sake.
Yeah, it was appalling on the weekend, but it happens. I never get behind on somebody's back because one week they can become bad, 1 week they can be our heroes.
Yeah, it's very true. I hope Oliver Harmon scores an hat-trick at weekend and he puts everyone to bloody shame. But
I hope so. And
Adam saying no chance of that happening. I don't. But why? Why not? You know what I mean? We're responsible for our actions. It's just so short-sighted and tunnel vision and just ignorant. Not saying you are very good, but it's like, why can't we just support our team through good and through bad?
Well, there are people are. Some people find it difficult to change. That's the way they are. And so, it takes a while. We've been talking about on the podcast about changing a culture, and people get set in the ways, don't they? And, you've got the reputation of the main stand mourners for a reason, because it's been like that for a long time, and there are those people in every stand, and it's the nature of football. Latics fans aren't unique in that respect. It happens at other grounds too. But what you do see at some grounds is that the home support is, a little bit, sort of more unconditional, let's say, like it is away from home.
I'll let you read that, Dave. Sorry.
Yeah, we'd like to play him apart if he does, but we do want our players to do well. Not accepting players giving the ball away and not tracking back. Yeah, but it's like,
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. You don't have to accept that, and you can get annoyed about it, but you have to think as well. The young lads just come in. Don't don't make him be intimidated about coming playing at home straight away after 35 minutes of football. So it's just something to think about. People will say and do what they
Adam
want
was
at the
talking
end of the
about
day.
James Norwood might be going to Mansfield. Sorry, Adam. Apologies. Yeah.
I've got to say that today's signing is a very experienced player. I've always liked him as a player, and hopefully he comes in and does the job. And I hope Norway's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I hope and pray to the Almighty.
I can't see it. I can't because they're not going to let him go for now. Someone's going to have to come in and buy him. And a team chasing promotion, getting rid of their top goal scorer after they've just signed him is not a very good statement. So he's under contract. So I can't see the club saying, "Yeah, you can."
Definitely in the Corny days, definitely in the Lemsingham days.
Yeah,
it would have gone for like 20 grand. 20 goal. Like,
yeah. But I'd be amazed if it happened now. It'd be totally the wrong signals.
I'd murder him if Norwood left. I'd go and physically get him and murder him.
Would you?
Yeah.
He could have you, Dave.
Yeah.
Nah.
Thanks a lot, guys, for having me on the show. I've made my points, and thank you very much.
How do you think we'll get on against Ebbsfleet, Ibby?
I think we will be winning that because 1 week we perform bad, 1 week we come back firing. So it's going to be a 3-0 win.
3-0. I like. Well, hopefully live on telly, so we'll get to see the goals from all those different angles and stuff. I'll take that, mate. And we do owe them a good hiding, don't we? So
yeah, make sure you be watching the transfer deadline tomorrow. It should be fun.
Yeah, it finishes tomorrow, doesn't it?
Is it tomorrow?
It's tomorrow, yeah.
Right. Well, let's hope we've got maybe another midfielder in the bag.
Do you think?
I'd like to think so. I still don't think our midfield's strong enough.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for having me on.
Mate.
Thank you very much.
Mate. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, baby. Take care, mate. So we got no more callers lined up, so we'll play an ad. So now, Dave, fans can buy us a coffee. How do you like your coffee?
Like an ice cream, white frothy latte.
Latte. So if you want to buy Dave a
latte,
then you can go to buymeacoffee.com/OAFC podcast. I'll just take mine black. Yeah. If you've got, I don't know what your plans are for Saturday, everyone, but after the match is finished, if you've been watching it in the pub and you fancy staying out for a few beers, bit of music, Spiked Island are playing at Laffardian, Failsworth.
Oh, not in Chadderton.
No.
Okay.
So that'll be good.
Yeah. If you like that sort of thing.
Like that kind of thing. So that's that. Have you got any other news, Dave? Or should I call you Wandering Willow?
No, you may not, sir. Any more news? No. I'd just like to wish happy birthday to my son, Owen, who is 7 years old on Sunday. So
happy birthday, Owen.
Yeah.
Make sure your dad spoils you rotten.
Well, won't, because he actually supports Man City.
Oh,
so,
dear.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a minute. We've got a call from Nova Scotia. We were just about to wrap up then.
Yeah. Come on, David.
Hello.
How's it going, guys?
All right. Long time no see.
Yeah. I've been meaning to call in, but every time I've got some time off or I finished work early, the phoning's been cancelled.
Oh, bad timing. Well, here you are. How are you doing?
I'm good. Yourselves?
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
mate.
good stuff. Yeah, good.
I just kind of wanted to say that some of the things that you guys mentioned tonight were spot on. Like, we're in and I've said this on Twitter, we're on a frustratingly slow period of transition where we're in the process of trying to get rid of some of the dead wood and bringing in quality players. And like you guys have said, I have a lot of faith in Mickey Mellon, and we will get there in the end. Because we are starting to bring the quality in. We just need to have more players like your Norwoods in, and that's going to take time. So I think like you guys have said, I think it's just a case of having patience. And to your point as well about Boundary Park, I mean I was there back in October for the Oxford City match, and it was great. I mean the hospitality that I went, I treated my dad to the hospitality there. I mean, the club itself is it's on an upward trajectory, and behind the scenes it looks really, really good. But the atmosphere compared to the away following, it's a bit of a morgue at times, where it's a bit quiet and like you said about the main stand moaners, if I had my way with that main stand, I'd put bloody a giant screen over them and have them watching Jurassic Park or watching 1930s football or something. Just the amount of bloody dinosaurs that are in that bloody stand. They need to bloody get behind the team and support them like the away following. And in particularly about Hammond, as you mentioned, I mean, some of these comments on Twitter, they just need to give their heads a shake. I mean, I watched the game last Saturday, and for about a period of 10 minutes, a quarter of an hour, those substitutes, including the right back, were our better players, and we're trying to get forward and trying to do something with it. So some of the comments of, particularly about Hammond and some of the comments about Walker and about the right back, I thought were uncalled for, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I've said my piece tonight. What do you think?
No, I look. I mean, you think about some of the dross we've been served up over the last few years, like in terms of the playing. When we on our Christmas do, we did a little song, didn't we, to some of Oldham's most useless players. Some little homage to Cido Giambatti and Dylan Fage and Urko Vera and all kinds of and some of the loan players that we've had. I mean, it's just been absolutely shocking. And anyone who's new to a club, you have to say welcome to the club, especially if they're a permanent signing as well, like Oliver Hammond is. He's he's a young lad. He's come from Forest. He's obviously got something about him. And
he was on the bench for Forest this season,
right? So you've got to give him a chance, And you want. I've always said this for a long time. I want our club to have a reputation where you talk about players talking to each other. Oh yeah, the fans there are magnificent. Like they get behind you from day one. And obviously, if a player consistently lets you down over time, well, what happens is they don't play, do they? They get dropped, and
exactly
new players come in, and we've seen that with Mellon when Mellon has made his mind up on a number of players now, and they're not in the team. So if they're on the pitch, get behind them. That's the easiest way of putting it, really.
Exactly, and I mean, we've now got the infrastructure and the manager in place to actually go. On paper to go forward now and to progress. I mean, Mickey Mellon, he's been there and done it time and time again before, and he's already. I mean, he's not been at the club that long, but he's already figured out what the fans had already been thinking about: which players are not good enough and which positions we need players in for, and he's gone out and got them.
Yeah, exactly. And so we do. I think the whole winning mentality thing, it has to go all the way through the club, from the top, the boardroom, the manager, the players, to every the ball boys and girls and everything else, and us as fans. And it's hard for us to adopt a winning mentality when we are like the perennial losers of football for the last 30 years. So it is hard. I'm not saying I'm not suggesting that you can all of a sudden just kind of, that kind of thing where you can smile and just wipe it off and go. Like but try and be mindful of the
smile,
effect.
Wipe it off and go.
Yeah.
Good God.
You've got to be mindful of the effect that you play as a supporter at the ground, and look at the Atleticos, look at the efforts, look at the pains, the time, the energy, the effort, the money that they spend trying to create an atmosphere.
Yeah.
Don't be the negative answer to that. There's no point them doing that and trying to get that going if the rest of the stadium is making no effort to back that and get behind that, and it's conditional. Like, we'll back the team if we're winning. Teams need your support more when you're not winning than when you are winning. That's the team roars you on. Your fans roar a team on when they're struggling, not when they're doing really, really well. It's easy to be the fans that sing when you're winning. There is a reason why people sing. You only sing when you're winning, isn't it? You know what I mean? So like that's the kind of thing that I think we're trying to say, but.
I think people have also got to remember, and you touched on it with the Atleticos, is if it wasn't for them, and in particular, Cameron and his drum, then the Rothwells wouldn't have bought and invested the club. I mean, Frank's come out and said that it was down to them and their support.
Yeah, so this is I don't think this is nonsense. Yeah. If we'd got rid of Unners Failure when it was obviously was out of his depth, we'd have been promoted already. I don't think so, because we still would have had the same players. If he was always going to start the season, so if we'd sacked him after one game, I don't think we wouldn't have promoted. We wouldn't have beaten Chesterfield, who were top, and there's only one promotion place, so I'm not having that. Right, listen, we're gonna. We've got one more call lined up in France now, because we are truly international, as you know. Yeah. Well, it was good to talk to you again, David. Thanks for getting in touch, mate.
See you later, mate.
And same to you guys. Have yourselves a good evening, and cheers for keep up the good work, and cheers for for all that you do with the podcast and the phoning.
Nice one.
Mate.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Cheers, Bill. Take care. Bye.
Right, lovely guy.
I know, yeah, lovely guy, David.
Good name as well.
Yeah. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Hi guys.
How you doing?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear myself. I'm going to turn this off because it don't work very well.
Yeah, no, we can hear you. So crack on.
Keep going.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, still hear you. Yeah.
It's me. I know. I was messing about with the matter with. I got new earphones for Christmas from my wife, and they're a bit confusing, to be honest. But
no, they're probably French, are they?
No, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I'm a bit late. Well, I'm a bit late, and I don't know what's been said so far, and I don't want to take too much of your time up. Just a couple of things. The guy you had on the weekend on the podcast, Mike Proctor.
Yeah.
I think I went to school with him. I think I was at primary school with him. I've never seen him since. He was at my primary school, but I think he went off to Hume because I think he's a bit of a Tory boy like Dave.
Hey, not wrong with that, mate.
Was he a snooker ref at the time?
Yeah, I think he was into his snooker, actually.
Yeah, probably in then.
Yeah.
He's got it all going. Tory, Hume, snooker, everything. Yeah. What a guy.
Tooting his own horn. Sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yeah, the only thing I was going to get in touch with you about was people keep talking about Unsworth's approach to talking to the fans, doing the interviews and things, and about how he wasn't particularly honest. The only thing I would say is Mike told us the other day that he wasn't making any more signings, and now suddenly we've got another striker in, and I just wonder how you guys feel about that, or how the rest of the fans feel about whether they feel a bit deceived, or whether he didn't know anything about it, or has someone just broken into Frank's checkbook while he's away and just signing off on things. And
I thought, I'll be honest with you, in the interview, and I didn't believe him when he said no. I'll be honest with you. I thought that he was just saying that.
Next time I see him, I'd say, Mickey, you lying bastard! What you said you weren't going to sign anyone else, and I'll see what he says. Deal. I won't call it. I'll say, why are you lying to me? I sang a song to him as well, and he's.
Well, maybe that was it. Maybe that's what caused it.
Yeah, probably. I think sometimes they like to keep their cards close to the chest. I think also if they say no, they don't have to answer any more questions like, who are you signing? What position? Blah, blah, blah. It's probably just easier. And at the end of the day, the way I see it is the signers will come, they'll be announced, and that's it. You know what I mean? And all the rumouring and this, that, and the other. They're always going to take players if they think that a player is available that they can take on that's going to improve the squad. They'll take.
He's a League One player, isn't he? A League One striker who's played 23 games this season with a decent record.
I can understand that, but
might not have been available
I was counting up, and we've got 10 strikers now. So you keep a goalkeeper, and we can just play with 10 forwards.
Yeah. I think some of our fans would be up for that after some of the the lack of goals and lack of whatever, but we've had over the recent years. But look, I mean, you need firepower to get out of a division. Like you do. All the teams that go up score goals. But it's providing the forwards with the chances that we've got to get right. You can have all the forwards in the world, but if you don't make chances for them, if you can't dominate in the midfield, if you can't get the ball in the box, if you can't, be solid at the back, you're not going to go up. So obviously Mickey Mann's identified the strikers that he's got in the club aren't going to suit how he wants to play, or they don't match some kind of criteria that he has for strikers. But again, that midfield and those flanks have got to deliver to the strikers.
I'm just really intrigued how he's going to play on Saturday. You know, whether he's going to involve Garner from the start. I think it's going to be really interesting. I think.
Well, Reece put a formation up before. Did you see it on Twitter? It was a 3-4-2
4-1-2
3-4-1-2, and it incorporated Norwood, Dallas up top, Gardner behind him, and then so that might work. So
might not.
We'll see. But yeah, I mean,
just one quick thing before you go. Before you sign off. Me and my French friends, you've had a couple of them on, Chris. We were discussing a few weeks ago about booking our tickets for Wembley and about how difficult it'll be because the semi-finals a week before, and booking our tickets. Obviously, those plans changed a little bit after Saturday, and now we've decided we're going to watch it here because we're not going to waste our money. What should we do? Do we book our tickets? Do we book our plans, or do we be optimistic? It's not very Oldham to be like that, but
look, I mean, the thing is you can.
Dave, don't love it.
Just go to London. Just go to London for a couple of days and enjoy. Have a good time either way. Like, you know, I mean, I don't know. You take a gamble.
Yeah, do it. Go on.
I'd say,
do it.
I mean,
just do it. Pardon?
I'm not as rich as you.
Maybe. Well, just it's not bad.
Dave will pay.
I won't pay.
Dave will pay.
I'm sorry by name, sorry by nature. Get what I want for at least cheap as possible, at the expense of others and society. No, just book it. It's only London. It's not far. Just chill out and just have a good time. And if we might be in the playoffs, we might not. It's life's short, my friend.
The thing is you cannot make it a football trip anyway because there'll be tickets. You'll be able to get a ticket for Wembley for the playoff final, so you could just go to the playoff final, just watch whoever's there.
Don't do that.
No, well, it's just an idea.
There's plenty of things to do in London. It's not as if you like going to Oldham, for God's sake, is it? Spindles, the upsteps.
I'd kill for that. It's been a while.
Well, yeah. So, the thing is we're not going to know until we know. And
next 5 games we'll know. Next 5 games.
Everybody.
I think we're going to make the playoffs. That's not the issue. The making the playoffs.
We'll know by the next 5 games.
But it's whether or not we're going to actually win the playoffs is the issue.
Yeah, but
or get to Wembley, get to the final.
That's why we love the game of football. Every game's winnable. Every game's losable. It's just look at the draw. Football gods decide. Get over it.
We're pretty good at the losable bit, though.
Nah, well,
times change, Robin. Times change.
They do. Let's hope.
Vive la revolution, as they say. Right, thanks for calling, mate.
Pleasure.
Good to see you again. Take care, pal. See ya.
No worries. Thanks.
Bye.
I love how everyone says thanks for everything you do, but you never buy us a coffee. But yeah, if you want to,
you know what to do.
Yeah.
Right, that'll do, won't it, Dave? That's an hour.
And 3 minutes, 11, 12, 13 seconds.
Yeah, Dave, it's been a real pleasure doing this with you this evening.
It's always a privilege.
Really, really lovely.
And the pleasure is all mine.
All right. Take care, y'all. See you soon.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Boundary Park Alert System, a QPod production hosted and produced weekly by Matt Dean, Andy Halliwell and Dave Bradley. QPod is Oldham's only dedicated podcast production company, and if you'd like to learn more about how podcasting can help take your brand to the next level, visit kupod.co.uk. A huge thank you goes to all those people who subscribe to the podcast on Spotify. We really appreciate you all. Please visit oafcpodcast.co.uk and click Be a Supporter or find the link in the show notes if you'd like to help us fund the show. It's only $2.99 per month to subscribe, but if you'd rather make a one-off donation, please visit buymeacoffee.com/OAFC podcast or click the link on our website. Don't miss the Latics Football Phone-In every Wednesday live from 8:30pm. Please visit youtube.com/@OAFC podcast and do hit subscribe while you are there. You can also follow and interact with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok @OAFC podcast. Big thanks go to Eileen Finnegan for writing our excellent weekly blog, which we encourage you to read on our website every Saturday morning, and also to Paul Prendergast for providing us with all the Latics Mind questions. The title music for the show is by Manchester DJ and producer Starion, and for more information visit bandcamp.com/Red Laser Records. If you'd like to be a guest or contribute to the show, we would love to hear from you. Until then, see you next time.